Hello again and welcome back. Final session of Generation Watford on the main stage. So, Next Generation Network. What is the Next Generation Network? So, very, very briefly, when we decided we were going to take on some young people, Chris and I have always had an aspiration to have a young chamber. Chambers of commerce are quite old-fashioned, and we've done a lot of work to try and change the perception of chambers, especially for businesses. And we do lots of things differently, and there's no such thing as normal in our world. So when we took on our Kickstarters, we said to those guys, we would really like you to create your own young chamber. And they all looked at us with a bit of a blank expression and sort of said, chamber, really? So between them, they've come up with a Next Generation Network. And joining us on the stage today is a panel of some really inspirational young people who are just going to have a talk and a discussion about young people, about the importance of collaboration, and about young people in general, and some tips and some ideas of how you guys can get involved, how you can grow your networks, and how important it is to know the right people. So I'm going to hand over now to these guys. So Danny and Lee, I believe that you're going to drive this. You're going to speak to Sam, you're going to speak to Michael, you're going to speak to Ben, and also we've got Kia involved. So we've got 3 of our famous apprentices here and some very special guests. So I'm probably the oldest person on this panel. This is about young people and the Next Generation Network. I'm going to disappear off and I'm going to hand over to, I'm not sure if Lee, Danny or Kia, you are leading. Whoever wants to jump in, please take over. I'm really looking forward to this, guys.
So, thank you everyone for taking the time out to be a part of this panel. All we'd ask first is, can you all introduce yourselves, please? If Ben, you would like to go first.
Hi there, guys. My name is Benjamin Viss. I'm the local business manager of the Metro Bank on the Watford High Street.
Michael.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael Major. I am the assistant product manager for scratch cards at Camelot, the operator of the National Lottery.
Sam.
Hi everyone, I'm Sam Moggers and I'm a planning officer at Watford Borough Council.
Kia.
Hi, I'm Kia. I'm a digital marketing apprentice for the Chamber.
Danny.
Hello everyone, I am also one of the digital marketing apprentices for Watford Chamber.
And I'm Lee. I'm the team leader apprentice, also at the Chamber. So, where should we begin with stories? Let's go with that. So, let's just go round each other and say, like, how did you get into your job? Ben?
Sounds good. I don't mind if I kick off just to go the same way. So, but basically, at the moment, local business manager of the Metro Bank in the Watford High Street. So I've been working for Metro Bank for coming up 5 years this year. So when I'm currently 23 years old. I joined Metro Bank literally a month after leaving school and doing my A-levels. So, I must highlight, when I left sixth form, I had no idea what I wanted to do. It wasn't until I started working in the bank that I'd realised this is probably the job that I want to do moving forward. So I started my career as a cashier in the St Albans store, which basically meant that I just dealt with cash transactions, dealing with everyone's day-to-day payments, things like that. So quite normal stuff. But the highlight and the most important thing of the role was really customer service. So it was meeting people on a day to look into their accounts and things like that, and sort of see where we can help them, and also just help them with the different types of products that Metro Bank can sell. And then after that, I went on to be a customer service representative, where my role was predominantly about opening up bank accounts, meeting customers again, and just getting to know them to make sure that we're providing them the best products for their needs, and then making
Okay.
in terms of that stuff. Then as my career, I really enjoy the big. Sorry, am I going too long, Lee? I'll cut off. I'll cut off there. I'll let Michael pick up.
Ben, go for it. You did for a bit, but you're back with us
Was
now.
I?
You're back in
Oh,
the
did
room.
I
Go
stop?
for it.
I didn't realise. Sorry. Sorry, guys. So I'm not sure where I got to, but let's say cashiering, complete the cashier role, went on to be a personal banker, which essentially is looking after customers and helping them with new accounts and things like that. But again, the main thing that my job was to do with was customer service and just basically meeting people, getting to know them, and then providing the best products to what their needs were. Now, because I enjoyed the, going out, meeting all the business customers and things like that, that was one of the things that I predominantly enjoyed about the job. I decided to go down the route of the local business manager. And being a local business manager, if you ask me to summarize it in a sentence, the way I would summarize it is by saying my job is to make friends. Because as far as I'm concerned, if I go out there, all I have to do is meet people, make them like me. As long as the Metro Bank products work for them, they buy into people. They don't buy into products. That's something that I've learned throughout my career. And obviously, if you can provide a great customer service and you can look after customers, it does mean that they will quite happily move over and hold their accounts with whatever bank that is. So all I can just say to everyone is, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was 18 years old and left school. I gave something a try, and from giving it a go, I was able to learn what I'm really, really good at, and I was able to take the path and go
Michael?
into what I really, really enjoy.
Everyone, yeah. So, well, I don't know where to start really. I went to school in Bushy Hall, and I was always very much right down the middle in terms of being very academic and then very creative. I tried my best to be as flexible as possible, but right the way through my GCSE career, right through A levels, and I went to university, and to the point when I was doing UCAS and filling in, I was still like creative, academic. I'm not sure what I want to do. And some of the advice, which I'm not saying I regret listening to, I don't think that at all, but one of the big pieces was there's no career for being creative. That you can already draw. What do you need to go to uni for it for? Like, there's no point. Go and be something academic. I kind of listened, and I got through uni. I enjoyed the experience, but then I was working in Tesco at the time. I knew I didn't want to work at Tesco forever, but I didn't really know still what I wanted to do. And I heard about Camelot. I knew of Camelot. I knew everything I did. Before I worked there, I was playing the products. We're not allowed to play. Yeah, won't go into that. But I knew I wanted to. I would be happy to explore that kind of avenue. So I got into the company and I started in the OST. So we were talking to our retailers, talking with them about their inventory, talking about stock, their general experiences. It was a really good kind of way of understanding the base level of the business, but it's also a great position to then branch off and look at other departments, which is exactly what I did. So I started noticing trends on the calls and I really wanted to make a difference. So I moved into this quality and analytics role, where I was essentially marking calls, making sure, again, we were giving really good customer service, and I was really keen to build that rapport with retailers. I think that was from my time in Tesco. I kind of took those skills over, but then my creative juices really just kept going. I was like, I need to do something creative. And again, just by networking, I spoke with the scratch card team and I expressed how interested I was about being creative. And a year later, I am assistant product manager at the scratch card team. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's my journey.
Sam?
Michael, sorry to butt in. You have a question. So Michael's famous already. Michael, what did you travel at What did you study at uni?
So I went to uni and I did journalism to be academic, and I also really liked doing stuff. I chose not to go down the art route, so I did combined honours drama theatre studies with journalism.
Sam?
Yeah, hi guys, you're right. So yeah, basically my sort of is probably potentially quite a bit more conventional in a way. I went to Watford Boys, where I sort of just did my A levels, and I kind of knew that I wanted to. At the moment, I'm planning off, so it's a bit of a random sort of job. Not many people really know what it is, but it's basically just deciding, who gets the extensions and who gets to build what where. And I sort of always had my goal was to sort of get into it. and I ended up going to University of Nottingham to study geography. Where I enjoyed that. Spent 3 years doing that. And I think along the way, I had a really large variety of random jobs, like from working in shisha places, restaurants, the whole lot of factories, just trying to accumulate, like a CV basically, which is I think really important. And then so as soon as I sort of finished uni, I was really just looking to sort of kickstart my career, get into the planning profession properly. I noticed that Watford Borough Council had a vacancy open in the planning department, but not doing planning, doing something even more obscure called land charges, which no one really knows. And that's basically just like doing searches on houses before people buy them, so they know what they're buying basically, like whether it's got whether it's had new boilers or it's had any structural issues, that sort of thing. So basically, I worked on that for 18 months on an 18-month contract, and the whole time I was basically badgering them, just saying, well, look, you know what, I really want to do planning. Can I just do this? And sort of just kept going at it really for 18 months. And by the time it came round, I ended up getting a full-time contract to become planning officer there. And now they're actually paying for me to do my masters, which I'm currently doing as a part-time basis alongside working. So yeah, it's all kind of worked out how I sort of planned out, which I know is not necessarily the route that everyone managed to find. I'm very lucky. I'm grateful that's kind of mapped out that way. But yeah, that's sort of what I'm doing now. So I'm doing my masters and I'm a planning officer. I've been doing that for 9 months. So yeah.
Okay.
Everyone, if you haven't met me, if you have, then hi again. So my kind of journey is, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I kind of dropped out of sixth form after the first year. I went to college. I went to West Herts, did health and social care, and now I'm doing digital marketing. So there you are, kind of explains everything. Had a few kind of random jobs, customer service. I can change a nappy really fast. So I worked in a nursery for 6 months. So it's just trying to work out what I wanted to do. So then I was just applying for apprenticeships because I didn't enjoy my job that I was doing, selling cameras. I didn't really like it anymore. So I got the opportunity to do it and I'm really enjoying it. I'm kind of more interested in social media. So myself and Danny have been doing posts, but Danny's been doing the Generation Watford posts and everything like that. I'm in charge of the mental health things. I was able to have the opportunity to get my domestic abuse and violence awareness diploma as well. Already been here for 2 months and I've already been able to have great opportunities, and I wanted to help people and I wanted to carry on learning. I didn't know how, so the chamber was a great way to do that. So now I'm doing my apprenticeship with iSales and I'm really enjoying it. Thanks. That's me.
Danny.
Hi guys, my name is Danny. I used to be a fitness instructor working in the health and leisure sector. Naturally, as everyone knows, due to COVID, it's been somewhat postponed. So instead of that, what I have chosen to do, and I think last September it was, I unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, optimism or pessimism, or my approach is being realistic. I broke my leg and I was somewhat bedbound, wasn't able to do much. So I thought this is a great opportunity for me to, upskill myself. And with all of that in mind, I've got a background in freelance graphic design. So I'm reasonably creative in that aspect, helping startup companies create logos and their identity, as well as website design. And I thought, instead of just limiting myself to helping people in the gym, I can actually apply my skills and knowledge and build up from that as well, from what I've learned since September, to go into digital marketing and help, more people in general, such as yourselves here, setting up this event, Generation Watford. It gives you guys the opportunity to, meet potential employers and then kickstart, your career path. So that's just one of the opportunities I've had so far working with Watford Chamber. It's been great. And Pratham, you have a question there. What if you have planned your whole work life, but then you failed to get in that course in uni? What do you do now without a plan? My suggestion would be to adapt and always be adaptable. With that in mind, not everything in life is set in stone, and it's always worthwhile to see that there is more than one door that has the potential to be opened by yourself or opened in general. What do you guys think?
On that, Danny, when we spoke before, when we were setting up the panel, there was the thing about being fluid with your ability. Just because you have your mindset on doing this certain thing, and if I'm to tell you about myself, I went to West Herts College and I did film and TV, and I want to become a film editor. But I know that it's going to take me a while to get into the film industry. So I thought to myself, what am I going to do? And this is where networking and events like these come in. And I'm sure that all of you would agree with me when we say that network is critical to success, to be honest. I would say more so than any kind of qualification, to the point where a lot of employers who we've spoke to say that they hire based on personality. So very much even the fact that you are here tonight just is your stepping stone for building a network of businesses that you can really tap into without having to have your heart set on or mind set on a certain thing. So on that note, also, sorry, I'm talking a lot now, but on that note, I'm just gonna come out and say I got my first marketing job with no marketing experience, because in the interview my manager at the time turned around and said to me, Lee, I know you don't have any marketing experience, but I want to work with you because I like your personality. Which is the thing of, if you come across as hardworking and passionate, and it adds so much more value than you not having, because you learn throughout my internship at my first marketing role was an internship, and it just came out of nowhere. I'm not sure what anyone else would say, but I had no experience in it, and now, having done digital marketing, I'm now skilled in it.
To that point as well, like sometimes I know what we want to do, and there are sometimes you'll be in a job that you're like, actually, you process it in your head and you're like, actually, this probably isn't for me. But what you're doing every single day that you're putting yourself out there is you're learning a set of skills that are easily transferable. So like for me personally, what I was saying about Tesco, I knew it wasn't going to be my career path, but I learned about customer services. I learned how to deal with people. I learned how to deal with different situations, which are then adaptable to something else. So again, to go off your point, Lee, I think it's really important to remember that you don't have to just come out of any journey or any qualification and be like, I have to head straight in there. Like, you are building up skills as you go. And again, to Danny's point, networking, getting to know different people, it's all going to go and help you. Every single interaction you have will teach you something new.
Are you happy if we move on to questions now from the others? So
yeah,
Samita is asking Sam that she assumes that a lot of your peers have taken graduate jobs in London. Do you feel that you're missing out not having the same experience?
Well, to be honest with you, not really, no. I mean, don't get me wrong, going down the grad scheme path is obviously a good option, and I know a lot of my mates did end up doing it at uni as well. I mean, they spent most of their third year doing interviews for it and trying to really slog and get one. And I think if you do manage to get one, props to you. It's going to be a really great opportunity. I think you get 3 years, you get to move around the company. But I feel like, it's not the end of the world. A lot of my mates who still, we're living in Watford, there's a good group of us now. We haven't got grad schemes. I never got a grad scheme. And I think just by you going out and getting a job in a decent company, I mean, there's a lot of decent companies here today that we, around the table. I mean, a lot of these companies, they almost, whatever sort of role you get at this age, they're almost going to treat it as a type of grad scheme, even though it's not like official as such. I mean, I came into Watford Borough Council not really knowing too much skills that were actually related to the job I was doing, kind of learning it as I went along, and then luckily I had a good manager at the time who was, willing to sort of say, well, if you're ambitious, looking at doing planning or other things, then why not? Why don't we just go and put you in that department for a couple of days a week for a month? And then, if you've got a bit of spare time, you soon work your way around the company. And, before I know it, I'd done all kinds of different jobs I was never really expecting, not under necessarily a graduate scheme, but I thought so. In that sense, I didn't really get to miss out, and I did get a wide variety of skills. And I reckon, for example, if I got to the council and realised, like, maybe I don't want to be a planner, there could have quite easily been an opening in another department, just by way of me, putting myself out there to try and learn that way. So it's good.
Awesome. Kia, what do you plan to do once your apprenticeship finishes at the chamber?
I want to go traveling, which was like my main kind of stance and everything. I wanted to go to Thailand. I wanted to do what everyone else has done and gone to South Africa. No, thank you. South Asia and everything, and just kind of find myself. And I have savings for a reason, and if I don't do it now, I don't think I'll ever do it. And I think trying to actually find out what else is out there, I think staying in the same place, personally, it works for some people, but personally for me, I think it's quite close-minded that you think if you're going to stay in one place that you can work the whole thing. I don't want to be 50 to 100 and still say I'm in Hemel, so stay in Hemel for the rest of my life. That's not my dream. And then hopefully when I come back, I've networked enough, and I want to work in a company that help people, and I want to make a difference, even if that's making a difference to one person, just by having a conversation. Hence why I did the diploma. And there's a few things that the chamber are doing that are coming up in the background to actually help. So just trying to help in a marketing perspective, I think, and trying to be creative and carry on learning.
Thank you so much, guys. I just, I'm humbled to sit before a panel of such young people that have made such a success of their lives. You have been curious, you have been open-minded, and it just goes to show that there are opportunities out there for you. And Chris is laughing, sorry, because I've got a puppy and he's going to bark and I've got to squirt him with water. That's why Chris is laughing, but sorry to digress. But the message is that there are opportunities out there for all of you. Just look at these guys, look at what they have achieved in a very short space of time. So hats off to all of you. Chris, I'm going to hand over to you.
Yeah, no, thanks, guys. Some really interesting stories, questions coming in there. And Kia, you remember the guy that we met from LinkedIn? He's actually traveling the world in a camper van and running a business that's turning over 65 grand a week. So work is what you do, not necessarily where you go. So there's lots of opportunities. The world is changing. So, don't ever not dream, because there's stuff out there for everybody. And I think there's been some valuable advice you guys have given from all areas. It's amazing to see public sector, private sector, the care sector. It's one of one. By the way, everyone needs marketing. Everyone needs networking. Everyone needs connections. So your next generation network that you've set up, which thank you, Saffron, for saying that this is such a young panel, because I feel part of it now. But your next generation network is critical, and connections. It's not what you know, it's who you know. There's a little bit of both in that, by the way. There is science and there is art, but having a blend of all of it. But having the connections where you can pick the phone up to someone and say, do us a favour, do you know one that can help me out with X, Y, Z? Ben, I love what you said around your job is making friends. That's what it's about. That comes in with our ethos of just be kind, people by people. And if you're authentic and real, then people will listen and take your advice. And that's what this is about. So loved, this is the start of something, right? Tonight is our first careers fair. congratulations to the A team, Danny and Lee and Keir. You've put a great show together tonight. It was all down to you. Lee, you've been amazing. You've been very calm with all your advice today. I've had several people text me, saying how great you've all been, Keir, Lee, and Danny, about how helpful you've been. So that's been awesome. We've made it work. It didn't crash. We didn't have many problems. That's how it works. So congratulations, everybody. Well done. I don't know if we're going back to the main area now. We can go and have a chat with some people. I think we're open for another 20 minutes, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll leave it open till 8:30, so everyone's welcome to go back to the tables, have a chat with people and stuff, and make sure you do make those connections. So this is it from the main stage now. Thank you.
Just a quick.
Go on, Tony. To say something.
Yeah. So that is pretty much everything wrapped up for the main stage. You guys are welcome to click the back page to then go back onto the exhibition hall. We also have in the Q&A a couple of questions here for anyone that still wants to stay. Feel free to do so.
Sorry, the exhibition hall is closed.
Oh, the exhibition hall's closed. All right, we're the last people here then.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we got the keys to it, so should we open a pub?
So
Lucky.
whilst we're here, let's do this Q&A a minute. Is it possible to help in a war zone? Many people say it's a stupid idea, but any sort of humanitarian help would maybe help in a career. For example, helping Syrian refugees. Is it possible? Through my network at the Chamber, I've actually met with a charity that does humanitarian aid, and it doesn't have to be you going out to a war zone. It could be shipping food to the Syrian refugees. So you don't have to think, it's definitely possible. You don't have to go to the war zone, or you can. It's definitely possible. And if anyone else has any kind of answer.
Yeah, I'll pick up on that one, Lee. I actually worked 2 years ago in a Greek island called Chios, where they were literally refugees were coming across from Turkey, and they were coming in blow up boats and inflatables, and it was a shocking situation with young people, babies, elderly, what have you, and they landed in Chios with nothing. We volunteered for an organisation called CERT in Chios, and we were out there for a month working with refugees. And these guys that were coming off the boats, they were, like us, right? There's, they had families, businesses, BMWs, cars 1 week, and then nothing the following week. So there are lots of NGNs out there that you can volunteer for and get a career with. So, yeah, if you want to talk to me, drop us a text or something, or through the Chamber, and I can point you in a direction. But yeah, that's an absolute career path. No, absolutely, humanitarian is a fantastic thing to get involved in.
And the final question is the Next Generation Network a network other young people can join, and how? So, yes. Yes is the answer. We have recently launched the Next Generation Network, which is connecting young people with the business community. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for my connection to the Chamber that I got 2 years ago. So I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't have half of the experience that I've got now. And we are launching NGN officially on the 9th of April. It will be a Remo event in a virtual pub. If you like that idea, it's in a virtual pub. So
I'm the barman.
You have to be 18 to join, which is really fun. So guys, if you're not 18, don't need a fake ID, just don't drink in front of us.
Yeah. So NGN is although it has business relations, we like to think about it as a social space for young people where we can meet every Friday in the pub or have a chat with each other and and then we have speakers come in from each business and speak about their business and what they're doing for young people. So yeah, that is the Next Generation Network. It's all about supplying opportunities to young people, and that involves job opportunities and mental health signposting. Because me and Kieran and Danny are mental health first aid trained, so mental health first aid awareness trained, sorry. So we can signpost to the different organizations if need be. And yeah, it's all about connecting young people with the business community in the local area. Danny has put the NGN Instagram in the general chat. Feel free to follow us, and there's also a LinkedIn group that you can find if you type in Next Generation Network NGN brackets. But yes, thank you all for listening. Any more from Chris? Because I know you like to talk a lot.
No, Lee, I'm giving you the last word.
And anything else from the panel?
TTFN.
Well done. And thanks, guys, for coming along. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thing. We're looking forward to seeing you all again soon.
See you soon.
Really.
Cheers.
Nice to see you all.
Bye.
Been amazing.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.